Does anybody have any idea? You took the class, pronunciation and conversation. Anybody? Okay. In Taiwan, usually we address as the translation term could be 自然翻译法. You heard about this, right? 自然发音法. This term actually is quite commonly used. You probably heard about this, but you just didn't learn it. Okay, phonics, 自然发音法. I think that's the way we use in Taiwan. Okay. So first of all, when we teach, it's very important that, for example, last week we talked about, in the previous weeks, we talked about audio-lingual method, direct method. If it's so, you need to pay attention to the rules of phonics, meaning when the students look at some letters alphabets, they will be able to pronounce the words easily or the letters easily, okay? So let's do this anyhow. So you might want to start, when you discuss, try to start from, when you teach vocabulary, don't forget, how are you going to teach phonics? Okay, because that's how you analyze. And secondly, remember, I remind you all the time, when you teach vocabulary, do you want to put a vocabulary in a context or decontextualized? Which one? You want to contextualize your vocabulary or decontextualize your vocabulary? Which one? Huh? Contextualize, what's the Chinese translation again? Okay, we have in educational psychology, 心理. Yes. Remember I told you this term? You just don't remember the unit, but as I said, whatever vocabulary terms I told you in class, you have to remember them because it's associated with the teaching method. If you don't have the educational psychology concept, it will be very hard for you to understand teaching methods. Okay? Understanding right now? Okay. So that's very important. Phonics, meaning pronunciation. Vocabulary will including phonics, pronunciation, and how are you going to use those vocabulary, right? So you need to contextualize those vocabulary, okay? And then it's very important, how are you going to teach sentence pattern? Usually, a lot of teachers use one method to teach grammar. One method. What teaching method do usually teachers use? Direct method? What else? The most commonly used in Taiwan, grammar translation. So we have a lot of discussion on this, right? So you might want to design some things. Certainly it's very hard for you right now, but I'm going to give you maybe 5 to 8 minutes to see if you could do something together, okay? So we are going to do brainstorming. And very importantly, I encourage you to do pair work. What's the translation for pair work? Pair work. P-A-I-R space W-O-R-K. This is commonly used in a language classroom. 合作学习. Okay, that's one term. How do you say 合作学习 in English? Huh? 合作. Cooperation. Okay, cooperative learning. But nowadays we like to use another term. Collaboration. Have you heard about it? Collaborate. Collaborative. Collaboration. Do you remember this one? So in a very, I think a long time ago, people used to use cooperative learning. How, yet nowadays it seems people prefer to collaborative learning. Okay. And so you could do this, but it has not meaning that's not our job for this classroom, but it's also one way to do that. But pair work, what do you mean by pair work? Pair work could be counted as type of collaborative learning. So what is the possible translation for pair work? What does it mean by pair? 两人一组，对不对？ But what do you do when you want to utilize pair work? Did you make it in your classroom? What kind of phenomena you might see in your own English classroom? Communication. What else? What exactly you have to do? Certainly everything is for communication. But if in your text you say, oh, it's for communication, sorry, you won't get any word, any sport. Dialogue, no. Discussion, no. What exactly you need to do for pair work? That's the purpose. Certainly you need to have some discussion among between the group members. That's one goal. But what kind of technique or what kind of task you might need to apply for pair work? What's the steps you might need to do when you want to do pair work? Does anybody have any idea? Do you ever try to do pair work? Anybody? How many members in a group when you do pair work? Usually two, right? So meaning 1-on-1. When you do pair work, what else you might want your student to do? What you might want to give to them? Do you give them a very specific task for them to reach, to accomplish when you do pair work?
Let them practice real life.
Real life, what else? So when you want to talk about real life, you just have them to talk?
The conversation.
Conversation only? What else? Role play, what else?好，我现在用中文解释哦。好，这个可能你们从小到大，我们的英语老师或者是日文老师很少做，但是呢，在美国我们在大学教语言的时候，我们非常常做。那有很多种不同的方式。第一个 pair work 当然是1对1的，可是这个1对1里头，第一个就像你们刚刚讲的，可能它的目的是为了要能够沟通，可是我们常常有一个。这个呢，在我们的课本，我们还没有教到那个，但是那个是一个 in general， 我们叫做任务型的学习方法，在这本书没有。好，我看一下这本书好像没有提到，因为有一些会提到。好，我们讲一下这个这个是做，我先打一下那个。这个叫做什么？就是呢，他给他任务的 task 就是任务嘛，所以任务型倾向的教学方法。那这个就是说，我们现在希望很清楚的告诉他要完成什么。但是 pair work 常常是1对1没错。可是呢，这个东西呢，我们常常用在教文法的时候非常多，对话也是其中的一小部分。但是呢，我们在教文法的时候特别多。比如说，现在如果我要教